So in this video, let us try to see various representations of quadratic functions. So there are typically what we have shown is two representations. One representation is a standard form representation where fx is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, where a is not equal to 0. Another representation is of the form fx is equal to a times x minus p into x minus q. Again, you need a to be not equal to 0. So the question that comes to one's mind is, how will I use these representations? If suppose my function is given in this particular representation, then it is easy to figure out the zeros of the function for me, when the function will get zeros. That brings us to the question of figuring out what are quadratic equations. So let me first revise what is a quadratic equation. If you have been given a function fx is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, where a is not equal to 0, and you are interested in somehow finding the value of a function when the value of a function is d, and you are interested in figuring out what is the value of x for which this d is achieved, then you are essentially calling for a quadratic equation and you want to solve this quadratic equation. So in particular, if I have an equation of the form which is ax square plus bx, let us take this fx is equal to d, which means c is equal to d, then I am asking for a solution of a quadratic equation which is of the form ax square plus bx plus c minus d is equal to 0. This is simply, so in that case, if you correlate this particular function with this particular function, it is easy to figure out what is the value of x for which this value is attained. What is the value of x for which this equation is satisfied. So this is what we are trying to figure out. So let us try to take this function which is x square plus 4x plus 4 and see if I can get this function in the intercept form. There is a catch. I should know that this function has a root. That means the function has a solution. If it doesn't have a solution, we will deal that case a little later, but here in this case this function is a very nice function and it satisfies the condition. So let me write that function fx is equal to x square plus 4x plus 4. What I want to do is I want to write this in the intercept form. So in order to write this in the intercept form, I will simply mimic this function and this function and try to equate both of them together. So what I will do is x square plus 4x plus 4, this is given in standard form, and I essentially want to determine the values of p and q, right? So what I will do is I will simply write this as a times x minus p x minus q. Now this brings us to the method that we studied in one of our videos, which is FOIL method. So I will use that FOIL method. I will not go in much detail on FOIL method. I hope you must have seen the video, and I will get this to be minus p plus q times x plus p times q. Now you remember this is a quadratic function. So when I want to equate this function, I need to go a term by term basis. So minus p plus q times x plus p times q, right? So I need to go a term by term basis. What do I mean? I will consider the term of x square, equate it with the term coefficient of x square. I will consider the term which is of x, I will equate it with x, and I will consider the term which is constant and I will equate it with constant. This is how my checkbook procedure, cookbook procedure will look like. So let us do that. So that gives me, the first thing gives me a is equal to 1. The second thing gives me minus p minus q is equal to 4, or minus p plus q, let us be precise, is equal to 4, and pq is equal to 4. Okay, fantastic. So do I know anything? See here what I have done, some minor error is there. This should be a, but I know that a is equal to 1, so I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so this is the answer, and therefore I know 2 plus 2 is going to be 4. I know 2 plus 2 is going to be 4, but this particular thing is with a negative sign, correct? So what I want is minus 2 should be giving me 4, right? And minus 2 into minus 2 should again give me this 4 as well. Okay, great. That means what I have essentially derived is P is equal to Q is equal to minus 2. So as I mentioned, this method works here for this particular function, and I can write this function in the intercept form as x plus 2 the whole square, because x minus p, so minus 2 x minus minus 2, which is x plus 2 the whole square. This is the function that is given to, that we can derive from in the intercept form. Now, is intercept form always possible? Let us try to answer the question. Let us say fx, new function fx, is x square plus 1. Can you write this function in the intercept form? What is the intercept form? It is a times x minus p, x minus q. The answer to this is not really, because as long as these p and q are real numbers, you cannot write this in the intercept form. You can try your thing, but you will fail if you, because you will come up with some quantities which are negative square root of negative values. So let us not get into that. So this conversion is not possible in particular. This is a counter example that intercept form is not always possible. Then what is possible? Okay, so for that we have employed two methods. One method is completing the squares, another method is quadratic formula, and both these methods have very similar derivations. Let us briefly recollect the derivations of both these methods. Let us say fx is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. This is the function that is given to me, and I want to use my method of completing the squares or method of quadratic formula. Now these two methods are essentially for finding the roots of a quadratic equation. So let us implement these methods for finding the roots of a quadratic equation or solution of a quadratic equation in such a way that ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. This is the quadratic equation that is given to me. If I want to use the method of completing the square, what I need is, I need a complete square. What do I mean by that? Let us say I have a function of the form x plus d square. Then I can, if I use again the FOIL rule, I will be able to write this as x square plus 2dx plus a d square. So this is the modus operandi that I will keep in my mind. So in this case, if I want to convert this particular function in that format, then what I need to do is, I need to divide the entire expression by a. So ax square by a. Let me not go into that minute steps. So it is x square plus b by a times x plus c by a equal to 0. Okay, so what is stumbling block for me? Now the stumbling block for me is this point. So let us put this point on the other hand or other side. So what I will do here is, I will keep x square plus b by ax plus 0 equal to minus c by a. Correct? This is the modus operandi that I will use. Now interesting thing will happen. Now here, if I want to complete the square, you look at this term and this term. So you will get some similar feature like 2d is equal to b by a. That means your d should be b by 2a. 2dx is b by ax. So your d should be b by 2a. So what is d square then? It is b by 2a the whole square. This is b square by 4a square. So simply use that logic, and that term as you know is b by 2a times 2 of x plus b by 2a the whole square, fantastic, which is equal to b by 2a the whole square. Because I have added this term, I will add the same term over here, minus c by a. Fine. So now this is what method of completing the squares is. So this actually gives me, this is x plus b by 2a the whole square is equal to b square by 4a square minus c by a. I don't like this kind of splitting, so I will I will simplify the right hand side. What a is here, so 4a square is here, so I will simply multiply numerator and denominator by 4a, which will give me 4a square. Therefore I will get b square minus 4ac upon 4a square. This is the essence of method of completing the square as well as quadratic formula. What I got here is x plus b by 2a the whole square is equal to b square minus 4ac upon 4a square. Can I simplify this further? Yes, I can, right? So we have already seen how to simplify this. This simply means x plus b by 2a is equal to plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac upon square root of 4a square, which is 2a. Therefore, my answer to this question, the solution is minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. So these are always the roots that are possible. Now here I have assumed something important. I have taken a square root of b square minus 4ac. If b square minus 4ac turns out to be negative, the square root of negative number is not real. Therefore, in that case, you will not have a solution. So from this, what I can say is, if b square minus 4ac is less than 0, this particular thing has no real solution. This particular function or quadratic equation has no real solution. If b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, then yes, there are real solutions, and in fact there are two distinct real solutions. Okay, and if b square minus 4ac is equal to 0, then I can conclude that the solution to the quadratic equation is repeated real solution. Now let us, so we have resolved the case for quadratic equations. Now bring in the quadratic function and bring in the relation with intercept form. What is the intercept form? It is this form. I have said that y is equal to x square plus 1 cannot be written, fx is equal to x square plus 1 cannot be written in intercept form. Fine, I don't want intercept form, but can I write it in some specific form such that I will have the edge to understand the function? So I will try to answer the question using a similar logic which is used for completing the square. We have already seen this logic when we derived axis of symmetry. So let me bring in that logic. So right now I operated with fx is equal to 0, right? So let us not operate when fx is equal to 0. It's ax square plus bx plus c, a standard equation. I know that a is not equal to 0. The beauty comes when we operate this logic without shifting the sides from left hand side to right hand side. So let us operate it on that level. So here what I did is, when I used a method of completing the square, I divided everything by a. Here instead of dividing, I will take a common from everything. That will fetch a similar result, which is b by ax plus c by a. No change, because a should not be equal to 0, so I can divide it by a. Fine. Again, use the logic of completing the square. What does the completing the square will give you? X square. Again the same calculation, you can go back, pause the video, go back and see the calculations again. B square by 4a square minus b square by 4a square plus c by a. I am not doing anything extravagant, I am just adding and subtracting the same term, valid operation. Okay, then what I got here is, it is x plus b by 2a the whole square plus c by a minus b square by 4a square, right? And this thing, let me put a square bracket over here so as to remove the confusion. Okay, this thing we have already seen that you can write this as simple as this: a is x plus b by 2a the whole square plus, you simply multiply this by 4a, so it is 4ac minus b square upon 4a square, right? So there is nothing great about it, this is simply a constant. So when we derived the axis of symmetry, we claimed that this, because of this, there is a symmetry around a point minus b by 2a, and this is nothing but the value of which is taken on y-axis. So let us call this at with some special name. This is a is x minus h the whole square, because I want minus b by 2a, so I am putting minus, plus some k, this is some value k, some real number k. Okay, now you look at this point h comma k. What is h comma k actually denote? H comma k is nothing but minus b by 2a, and k is 4ac minus b square upon 4a square. Can you put this in a proper context when we were graphing the function? Yes, we are actually talking about the coordinates of the vertex. Coordinates of the vertex. That means this will be the coordinate of the vertex for any quadratic function, and furthermore you can actually see when you consider a function of the form fx is equal to x square plus 1. I said you cannot use intercept form, right? So simply see this function and use this method. You will see that x is equal to 0 is the axis of symmetry of this function. What is the coordinate? When you substitute x is equal to 0, you will get 1, right? So 0 comma 1 is the coordinate of the vertex, which will be given by this particular function. And even if you are unable to write it in intercept form, you know that because of this form, this function never has a real root. So if it is extra, then we can actually see that y is equal to x square plus 1 will always be like this. So sorry, so slight mistake. Let me erase it and draw it again. Y is equal to x square plus 1 is always like this. Assume this is 1 unit. Okay, and this never intersects the x-axis, which is typically given by this particular expression, which is the y-intercept. Okay, so you can take any complicated function and simplify it in this form, and you will have the vertex, coordinates of the vertex, and you know whether the function intersects x-axis or not. That's all about the quadratic functions which we have studied so far. Thank you.